cocktail of New Orleans, Louisiana. But we're not going to make that. You can see university students reeling all over the French Quarter with hurricanes in their hands. But we're not going to make that either. Or they're guzzling back hand grenades, another drink that's famous in New Orleans, but we're not making that either. We're going to make the Vue Carré. Get out your Creole pronunciation of your French. It means old square. Vue Carré. That's how they say it down in New Orleans. The drink was invented in the 1930s by Walter Bergeron at the Hotel Monteleone in the Carousel Bar. It's an actual carousel. I've been there once. You sit at the bar and it goes around. It takes 15 minutes, but this cocktail is really potent. So be careful when you're riding the merry-go-round because you might fall off. Ernest Hemingway drank at the Carousel. William Faulkner, Tennessee Williams, and Truman Capote claims to have been born in the lobby of the hotel. The Vue Carré is sort of like a Manhattan, but that's where it ends. It's typical New Orleans. It's all booze, it's spicy, and it's kind of sweet too. Which is leading us to a discussion around the difference between American whiskey, spelled with an E, and Canadian whiskey, spelled correctly, without an E. There are all kinds of American whiskeys, of course. There is bourbon from Kentucky, there is Jack Daniels from Tennessee, and there is rye. But American rye is very different than Canadian rye, and we're going to put a spin on this drink, and we're going to make it with Canadian rye. The challenge is that Canadian whiskey, spelled correctly, the word whiskey spelled correctly, is, we call all of it rye. Whether it has rye in it or not, it doesn't really matter. We call it rye. But this rye that we're going to use, this is Crown Royal. This is the Northern Harvest rye. It's 90% real rye. And in 2016, this beverage was voted as the best whiskey in the world. The world, right? It beat out Jack Daniels. It beat out bourbon. It beat out any kind of scotch you can think of. And it's made in Gimli, Manitoba. What other interesting ingredient is in this drink, you ask? Well, I'll tell you. The secret ingredient in this drink is Benedictine, the French liqueur. It's a beautiful thing. Don't skip it. It's really neat. You can buy it in half bottles if you don't want to commit to a whole bottle of it, but it really is a beautiful, beautiful liqueur. It's made with 27 different herbs and spices. Sounds like something else. With a slight thing of honey. It's got a kind of a citrusy taste. You can substitute Drambuie in this drink if you want, but it's a little more Scotch forward, so it's a little more medicinal. In 1510, Dom Bernardo Vincelli in Normandy developed the original recipe, and then Alexandre le Grand, French entrepreneur in the 1860s, turned it into the Benedictine that we know today. Let's put it in a glass. Again, there's a lot of booze in this. Be careful with this drink. First thing we're going to do is we're going to add 1 ounce of our Crown Royal rye. There we go. We've got an ounce in there. Then we're going to add an ounce of brandy. 1 ounce goes into there. As I said, this is a really powerful, beautiful drink. We're going to add 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. You know, I've said all the time, make sure you drink your vermouth up. Don't let it sit for forever. For heaven's sakes, keep it in the fridge to keep it fresh. We're going to put 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. Then we're going to add a ½ ounce of Benedictine, of our beautiful, beautiful liqueur. We're just putting in a ½ ounce of that. There we are. To that, we are going to add 2 dashes, and only 2 dashes of Angostura bitters. 1, 2, there it is. And then we're adding another secret ingredient. This is Peychaud's Creole bitters. It's kind of hard to find, and unless you're serving this drink to somebody from New Orleans, just use maybe a couple more dashes of the Angostura, but the Peychaud's is really fun. 1, 2, boom, there we are. In we go. To this, we're going to add some ice, and we're going to stir this drink for the dilution. We're going to stir that for a while just to let it get cool. Oh, it smells so beautiful. It's that Benedictine. Oh, those 27 secret herbs and spices. There I am with my absinthe spoon again because I don't know where my bar spoon has gone. And we're going to pour this into an old-fashioned glass. This is the way they serve it at the Carousel Bar. They serve it on the rocks, just like that. We're going to express the oils of a lemon peel into the drink. Just give it a twist over the drink like that. Rub the lemon peel again, around, or of course around the rim, and put it into the glass. And there we are, all the way from New Orleans, the Vue Carré. I I think this has just become my absolute favorite cocktail of all time. Remember, COVID-19 may drive you to drink. Do not let it drive you to drink and drive. Cheers. Till we meet in New Orleans.